As to the characteristics, etc., loving kindness is characterized here as promoting the aspect of welfare. Its function is to prefer welfare. It is manifested as the removal of annoyance. Its proximate cause is seeing lovableness in beings. It succeeds when it makes ill will subside, and it fails when it produces selfish affection.
Okay, thank you. So you can see here. If you can see beings, their good points, so it's very easy to have metta. Now, what is proximate cause? Proximate cause means it's something that can cause the something that can cause the metta to appear. So if you see their good points, means that you're trying to see their good points, so it's very easy for you to have metta. And then if you have no evil, right? And it fails, means that we are talking about those attachment. So when the metta becomes attachment, affection, so it's fail here. That means that we are talking about this when your metta become affection, so it become indirect enemy. That's why it fell. Okay, so 93, 94. Okay, next student, brother Lim, 94.
Okay. You want my video on?
Up to you. Okay,
Don't want.
the one.
So ugly face.
Okay.
Okay, 94. Compassion is characterized as promoting the aspects of allaying suffering. Its function resides in not bearing others' suffering. It is manifested as non-cruelty. Its approximate cause is to see helplessness in those overwhelmed by suffering. It succeeds when it makes cruelty subside, and it fails when it produces sorrow.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Alright.
Thank
Fails. When does it fail? That means that instead of karuna, you have this grief. Another one you can take also sorrow. All right, sorrow. So when you see people suffering, you also feel very sorrowful. Of course, when we have compassion, we can feel sorrow. It's very normal. But if your compassion is too much, you feel very sorrowful, then it defeats the purpose. All right. So you cannot keep the mind in a more balanced way. So that's the meaning here. So it fails when there's a grief or sorrow. Okay, 95. Okay, Melinda.
Okay, thank you, Asaji. 95. Gladness is characterized as gladdening, produced by others' success. Its function resides in being unenvious, and it is manifested as the elimination of aversion, boredom. Its proximate cause is seeing beings' success. It succeeds when it makes aversion, boredom subside, and it fails when it produces merriment.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So
thank
is
you.
main thing is you seeing beings having success, right? So that's the best one. I think the rest is quite easy to understand. So main thing, if you feel bored, that means that there's not enough joy. So you need to have joy, so to reduce the boredom. Now, this will be economic. Now it's Typhoon.
Sorry, Sayaji.
Yes.
Sayaji, Siu Hong here. Sayaji,
Yes.
can you help to explain what does it mean by it fails when it produces merriment? What is this merriment?
Merriment is much more on excited feeling. All right. It's like what we say just now. When you have joy, I mean, this is a kind of like joy. We kind of like you see the success of things or beings. So, but when your joy become too excited. That's the thing, like yeah, yeah, all this.
Oh,
So
over, is it over sort of
right,
thing?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Okay. Some people
Understand.
they have joy, correct, but their joy is kind of like over already. Some
Oh,
people can be so. What happened when you see the football, right? So when people score the one football, people jump up and down until the whole stadium can crash down. That kind of
oh,
strong
okay.
example.
All
Okay.
right. Example. Thanks.
All right. Okay. Okay. Next, Chai-Hoon, you read this on 96. Since you asked about equanimity, you should read again.
Equanimity is characterized as promoting the aspect of neutrality towards beings. Its function is to see equality in beings. It is manifested as the quieting of resentment and approval. Its approximate cause is seeing ownership of deeds. Karma thus, beings are owners of their deeds, whose, if not theirs, is a choice by which they will become happy, or will get free from suffering, or will not fall away from the success they have reached. It succeeds when it makes resentment and approval subside, and it fails when it produces the equanimity of unknowing, which is that worldly minded indifference or ignorance based on the house life.
Okay, is it clearer here? Clearer, right? This one.
Yeah.
It's easy to see.
This one easier to understand than the earlier one, right?
That's why Visuddhimagga is not easy to read, because it's one thing is because it's translated from the Pali, and this is how many years ago? Visuddhimagga, I think, is in the 5th century. Yeah, 5th century. Yeah, so that's mean that it's 1,000 years. All right, so it's very lucky we still have the text. This text already 1,000 years old. And it is written by elders. They get the experience from the other elders, right? Generation by generation. Okay, anyway, the main thing is you need to think about karma. Now, when we talk about four Brahma vihara, we are grasping the concept of beings. So you have to see beings are the owner of their deeds, right? So if they're happy, it's their good karma. If they're suffering, it's their bad karma. Okay, in this way. So you learn to let go. All right. But when it produce unknowing, like we say, the moha, okay, not interested to know, or the mind doesn't want to know, or ignorance, unknowing or ignorance. So all these are fails. Fails means all these are indirect under the hidden enemy. Okay, so instead of equanimity, based on the karma. Okay, accept karma, accept the lower karma. All right. So that's the best one if you can accept karma. Even like people scold you. Do you know when people scold us, it's our karma, right? You all know, right? According to Abhidhamma, when we hear something unpleasant, it's under the akusala, sota vijnana, so akusala vipaka, unwholesome resultant, what? Ear consciousness. Yeah. So it's our bad karma because it's akusala vipaka. So if you can accept the karma for yourself, so when people scold you, it's your bad karma. So you should happy. You should be thankful to somebody who scold you because they are clearing your bad karma. That's a sort of thing. 减业障, 减少业障. Okay. Now we go for some. This part is actually, I remember when I discussed with other students of the previous class, I asked them how to practice the karuna and so on. So they give me the suggestion. So I write down all this. So, all right. So karuna, you practice with beings. This is the one I write. Okay. Weaker, sick, need our help. So I suggest we look at the young baby. Everybody is when they look at young baby, they be able, because young children, especially very young baby, they depends on parents. Without parents give them food, without parents feeding them, without the parents help them with clean out their urine and feces, they cannot survive. So it's very easy when you practice karuna. And or the sick animal or young animal. So last I would say the last time lah. You know the dogs every 1 year they give us 5 children, so we also have problem. So when the difference between human baby and animal, so amazing. Human will take more than 1 year to walk. The young baby, I see within they give birth, within 2 days, 3 days, or 4 days, they know how to walk. You know, like young baby dogs, puppy, they know how to feed them by themselves. They just need to know the smell of the mother, the milk. They go and suck out the milk. But sometimes we have to take care of the puppy in case they fall to drain. Sometimes they fall to drain. Then the last time got one young baby, young puppy, fall to drain, and then the mother was shouting, crying very loud. Then we go and see, oh, the baby was in the drain. And now it's raining season, so the water is abundant in the drain. Okay, so if you practice with weaker animals or young baby, it's very easy. Especially young baby, because they are so cute. You know, everybody look at the baby, they like it, right? Why? Actually, why the baby is so cute? Because their skin is newly born. They are newly born, so the skin are newly made. So the skin are soft. Yeah. And the baby all smell nice when they put the perfume or powder or whatever. So, and Karuna, you want to reduce their suffering by our body, speech, and mind. So your heart shaped with compassion, and you want to do something. That's the naturally that we say just now. Now, mudita, you take the prosperity, happiness of beings as the object. You also can rejoice on your own good deeds. So mudita here, we are not talking about normal happiness on mundane things. It's much more on a spiritual practice. So you need to rejoice on your good deeds, rejoice on good deeds or merits others. So by saying sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So just a joke. When people say sadhu, 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 people thought that it's the end of Dhamma talk. So when they say sadhu, 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 they are very happy because it's the end of Dhamma talk. But actually it's no. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu means we rejoice on the effort of the Dhamma preacher. Okay, and we rejoice on our good deeds to listen to Dhamma talk. So that's the reason of saying sadhu. It's a part of mudita, not because it's end of show, so we can go back home after you say sadhu. Okay, right. Now upeka, stay in the middle, not too extreme. It's not the delusion, not confusion, not knowing, not the unknowing. Okay, not knowing. So it's a knowing in the right way. The best, of course, we practice vipassana. We can see we understand the impermanent suffering and non-self things. We need to contemplate the six sense bases and six sense objects. See beings as namarupa or formation. So the best way is practice the balanced mind to all things. Don't too attached, too dislike, or have too much attachment or have too much hatred. If you can practice the balanced mind, so the peacefulness and calmness can come easily. And you need to aware the we call it worldly things. Labha, alabha, yasa, ayasa, pasamsa, ninda, sukha, dukkha. Gain and loss. Labha. Okay, for those Pali students, labhati. Labhati means you get, obtains. Okay, so from the verb labhati, you get labha. Labha, alabha. So gain. Alabha is negative, loss. Gain, loss. So when we say people having corruption, they also use the word labha. In Myanmar, they say the person have labha. Labha means corruption. Yasa is fame. Ayasa is a loss of fame. So sometimes like normally we can talk about like in terms of things like you have a lot of friends. So sometimes they say like one day you have lots of friend or retinue. Here. Okay. So fam means you have, what happened to cursor today? You have friend and normally in Pali they call it retinue, means a lot of followers. So it's fam. So you have fam. So the next moment, because of some rumors or something bad news, so nobody want to follow you, nobody want to talk to you. So ayasa. So that's the meaning. It's very common, you know. One day you're famous, another day you're not famous. So the mind go up and down, like laba alaba. Your mind go up and down, up and down. One day people praise you. Oh, you're good looking, you're handsome, you're beautiful, you're clever. Then the next day people say you're stupid, you're ugly, whatever. So 3-3年, so the mind go up and down again. Then also one day you get good feeling, happy things, so your mind is sukha. Then the next day you have bad experience, so your mind is dukkha. So our mind is always up and down, up and down. Okay, so this called 8 worldly things, or in Chinese we call it 八风. So we need to aware of this thing that will disturb the mind. So try to practice the balance mind towards all things, all phenomena. And also understand the working of karma. Like we say, all beings are subject to our own karma. And increase the right view. You understand about karma. You understand the vipassana. You practice jhana. You listen to more dhamma talk. So that's how we can practice this equanimity, upekkha. All right. So the best translation is actually equanimity. Now, according to this one, do we need to practice metta, karuna, mudita, upekkha? So what is the sequence? So I listened to one of the, because we have the conference book in our ITBO. Sometimes they have the book. So I read one of the paper written there. So according to Sayadaw Dr. Dhammasami, also very famous here. He's one, now we have few university. So this is another university in Myanmar, in a Shan state, in the mountainside. If you've been to Inya Lake, in Leh Lake, there's a university, new one. So he suggests we practice mudita first, because mudita is easy to practice. Mudita means you just feel happy, rejoice. Or you practice karuna. Compassion is actually easy to practice compared to metta. Okay. So mudita promotes joy, karuna promotes compassion. But you need to be careful. Mudita can increase greed, and karuna can cause grief. We mentioned these two already. And also he suggests we can practice the 4 Brahma vihara, metta, karuna, mudita, upekkha, with the chittanupassana. We can practice it as try to see different mental state. This means the contemplation of mind. For example, when you are doing karuna, you feel very uncomfortable. So then you can just contemplate the mind. Instead of contemplate the mind, you go to, if you don't want to contemplate, because when we have compassion, maybe your mind feel very sorrowful. You don't want to contemplate the mind anymore. So at that time, you should go for feeling. So instead of go to mind state, you drop down, right? So we are talking about the kaya, the 4 foundation of mindfulness. This means that on the, you have the body, feeling, mind, and dhamma. Okay. So this means that sometimes when you contemplate, like you have karuna here, then you feel grief. So all these are mental state. So when mental state are very subtle, but they are very powerful. So if you feel that you don't want to continue with the karuna or grief, then you go for more gross one. Gross one means vedana here. You just contemplate the feeling, how you feel. Maybe you feel heart is heavy or stiff, you know. So it's good to, we call it ground the mind. Because when you go for mind level, your mind is actually very subtle. So it's good to go for something more gross. Feeling is gross compared to mind. After that, you can go for body, right? What is your body? How you feel? Maybe at the time you feel body is very stiff, or body is very heavy, or very uncomfortable, or whatever. So that's how we can incorporate the 4 Brahma Vihara with the chitta and with the Vedana. Okay, clear? Okay, so this is how we do. So this means that instead of metta, karuna, we can start with mudita or karuna first. I think karuna for me is easy. Easy to practice, all right? For me, I think karuna is easy. Some people will feel metta will be easy. Some people will feel mudita easy. Some people who practice vipassana, they feel that upekkha is easy. So everybody have their own practice. but we can link with Vipassana. Now, like just now we chant, so we can do corresponding practice here. I think maybe I'm not so sure if is in your paper or not. Okay, aware is will be on metta. Now, when we talk about abhyabhaja hontu, aniga hontu, so these two are more on because you wish people be free from suffering. So this more on karuna. Okay? And when you wish sukhi atanam pariharantu. So it depends on how you see sukhi. Some people see sukhi as happy. So it will be mudita. Some people see the word sukhi as peacefulness. So it will be more on the not rejoice, more on the equanimity. So I think this one I add on just now. You all can. It's not in your text, I think. All right. So can. So similar to this one, I earlier on add on. Okay. So we can practice chanting and we can practice. So but you need to kind of like familiar with the Pali. But I think most of you are quite familiar with the Pali, so it's not difficult. So we can put the practice together while we chanting, then our chanting become more meaningful. Okay. Sometimes we can chant just simply chant when you're busy with some tasks, you just chant. But if you want to take it as practice, you can should sit in a quiet place or go to a quiet place and put the hand together, concentrate. Now, when we put the hand together, what happens is that, our hand is linking with the brain, right? So when you put the hand together, your brain is also synchronized in one way. Okay? So, Avera Hontu, Abhyabhaja Hontu, Aniga Hontu, Sukhi Atanam Pariharantu. Okay, so if you want to take it as rejoice, maybe at that time you chant more happily. Okay, for example, Sukhi Atanam Pariharantu, your voice will be more lighter. But if you want to take it as upekha, then your mind should be more neutral, balanced, and your voice also more balanced. Sukhi atanam pariharanto. So we can change the tune because chanting itself is kind of like music also, right? So that's why we teach the young children to chant. Because imagine we teach the children Dhamma talk all the time, they're also not happy with us. And you imagine you have to tell the children you sit down half an hour every time. The children also not happy with us. So the best way to make the children happy is teach them more chanting. Chanting itself is a song, right? It's a song because all the chanting has its own rhythm and sound. All right, so task for you all to do. I want to see how many, there are 24 of you, how many of you will send me homework. China already sent me homework before. Sumita also sent me homework before. I think Jen or this, you all are first time learning. So write a diary of mudita. So this means that if you want to practice mudita, you write on mudita. So if you want to practice the like compassion, you write about compassion. Or if you want to write about something else, you write. So depends on what you target. If you feel that you want to practice more mudita, you write more. Today, I do a good deeds, so I rejoice on my good deeds. Today, I see people offer food, so I rejoice on their good deeds. Okay, so kind of like you list down. So you can think about the things you had done, and also try to see. What is that sound? Okay.
Can you give an example of
Yeah.
someone who has written a diary of mudita or compassion or upeka?
Now I don't have example for you, but I just said just now, you just thinking about the whole day, just thinking about the whole day you had done, So for example, today, what made you happy? I mean, real happiness, much more on spiritual practice. Not to say, oh, I'm happy because I eat ice cream or I eat nasi lemak. Not that kind of happiness, right? So think about something that genuine mudita. Do you have, Brother Lim? Do you have an example today?
I'm trying to go how we want to write it. Maybe I try this time.
Okay, you try to write down. Yeah, okay. Or you can write on piece of paper
You,
and
you
send
said
to
there
me.
was someone who was already given you an
Oh,
assignment.
yeah. No, they have given me this one. This 4 Brahma Vihara. This worksheet, all right? They're giving me this one. Of course, they also putting in the mudita. So later we can share, but maybe you all want to write some more and we can, because last time you write is half a year ago. So it's better update now. Okay, now.
I never
all right.
tried writing anything
Yeah,
yet.
you should write, okay? So you should write something. It depends on your target, mudita or compassion or whatever. So you think about things what you do today. For example, today, they are busy. Saiji Agawati busy going out, so I have to take care of the center, take care of the dogs, give the dog food. You know, yeah, the dog look at me. The dog are very choosy because our food, we only can give them some rice and fish, right? So the same rice, they will use the nose, go and find around where's the fish. They leave the rice, that kind of things. So, but I still happy to prepare the food for the dog. Then sometimes the extra rice we give to the outside dog. The outside dog they eat all the rice. They're not so fussy. Sometimes that's why I see our dog. Sometimes I say they are so fussy. But I still happy to give them the food, all right? Okay, now conclusion, all right. This one I added just now, I think. Paragraph 106. You all can add on copy later to your text. Okay, now why do we call it Brahma Vihara? These 4 are called Brahma Vihara. In the sense of best, in the sense of immaculate, right? So they are the best in terms of right attitude towards being. So if you want to, how you associate with other people, so practice of 4 Brahma Vihara because it gives you the right attitude. So this is just like the Brahma God. When we say Brahma Vihara, the terms of this 4 Brahma Vihara. So sometimes we call it noble living. Sometimes we call it live as just like the Brahma God. So we are actually trying to follow the example. Because they are always in jhana, they're always radiating a good mind to others. So that's the meaning here. All right. So that's why it's called divine abiding. So the traditional translation, they call it divine abiding. Vihara is abiding. But I think the current translation, noble living or sublime, something they have another translation, sublime. Sublime living or noble living. These 2 are actually the best, because you answer the word, you might want to make your mind more high, more noble, more pure in a way. That's the meaning here. So here, in daily life, it promotes the emotional balance and mental well-being. So normally I give counseling talk. I always tell people they must practice this one. All right. So the task for meditator is you need to write the 4 Brahma Vihara and send the message WhatsApp. Try to send only good things and not the bad things. All right. So if you want to increase joyfulness, you do Buddhanussati, Dhammanussati. If you want to increase upekka, you practice karma or practice more in vipassana. So the reference is here. Now, for those who want to do worksheet, draw a piece of paper and then you put 4 of these practices and you put 5 times. I just similarly like Malay Muslim people, they play 5 times, right? So we also should contemplate 5 times. Okay. So for example, wake up in the morning, you should practice already. And after maybe around breakfast time, you also should practice. After lunch or around lunch, during the lunchtime, somewhere there, or after lunch or before lunch or middle or lunch, okay, something during lunch. And after that, evening time, like 3 to 4, before you fall asleep, you also should practice. And have you done a 5-minute sitting? Just sit down and do this like mudita. So it really very helpful. Just 5-minute sitting. So when you do this, so you must be clear the object. The object will be on good news or happiness. Karuna will be on sufferer or people having suffering. Metta will be more on a kindness, a loving kindness, or actually it's much more on kindness. I would say use the word kindness. Upekkha will be more on letting go. So you should be clear about we call it the purpose or aim, the mentality of these four. Sometimes people, when they practice karuna and metta, they cannot find the difference between these two. But karuna only take the people who are in suffering. That's very clear. Metta can be, even though they are suffering or even though they are not suffering, you still can practice metta to them. All right. So these two should be clearer. But the feeling is different. This is more you feel compassion. This is more kind of like good mind, or they call it good will. Okay. So your mind should be more on good will towards them. So you should do a chart like this and write down and try to practice for 7 days. So suggestion, you should practice for 7 days. For 7 days, okay? Why 7 days? Because I see you next week. So you should practice 7 days and send to me before the class. Then actually it will really transform your mind. For those who not practice before, you should write this. Hey, don't be lazy lah. Lazy means that you don't tell me that you cannot find a piece of pen, no pen and no paper. Even no paper, no pen, you can type in computer. Some people say I'm lazy to type in computer. I say, yeah, so lazy. This is lazy or that one also lazy. Okay, so that means that they have lack of rejoice. So their mind feel bored all the time. When their mind have energy, then they don't have boredom. Okay. I think that's enough. Any last question before we stop?
Sayagyi, sorry, Siu Hong here again.
Yes.
Can you give an example what to fill up, like wake up mudita? That means what
Okay.
so
Okay.
that we know what to do.
Okay. So we hope is much more on I think maybe we talk about lunch. Okay, maybe this morning you hear your friend give donation. Okay, so you feel happy. Okay. Lunchtime you see WhatsApp. Okay. Now this one maybe you wake up, you feel compassion towards the dog or cat. They are waiting outside. Sometimes the dog and cat waiting outside. When I go down, the dog and cat also always wait for us, waiting for food like this. All right. Metta is you wake up, your practice very easy. You just when you wake up, you have a kind thoughts. Okay, may a kind thought. Okay. May all beings be happy. Right. So you can wake up, you kind of like generate good thoughts. May the beings be very happy, because normally if you don't do like this, you will think about, today is office time lah, have to go to work lah. Understand? So try to don't start with the bad thoughts, start with the good thoughts. And equanimity will be maybe, let's say after lunch, during lunchtime, you'll hear someone pass away due to car accident. Okay. So instead of feel very sorrowful, you think, oh, may this person you answer the person due to bad karma. Normally car accident, all these are bad karma, right? Due to bad karma. So you accept the karma of that person. Can?
Roughly,
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. Just to write the story as it happens, No need to purposely look for it. For example, let's say morning, you only morning time. Okay, you wake up, you don't have rejoice, so you just leave it blank. All right.
Okay.
Okay. And also one thing here, we say at night time before sleep.
Mm.
Before sleep means maybe before, like I say, is you sleep at 11 o'clock. So sometimes you feel so sleepy, right? You feel so sleepy. So you are lazy to open the computer again and type again. So you can just leave it until the next day. I have students that, sometimes they tell me they cannot sleep well because they feel that they have not read this one. They cannot sleep well at all. Okay. No need to feel so pressurized. I sure by tomorrow you still be able to remember.
Okay.
You'll be surprised, we can remember yesterday, but we cannot remember the day before. Yeah. Yeah. So it's better you wake up the next morning, you write down. Actually, it's better if you have a piece of paper. Because you don't need to purposely find the computer and turn on the computer to write down. I don't mind I see your handwriting as long as you all write. Don't write so like we call it chicken. I don't know why they say chicken writing. Scratch on the floor. Okay, scratch on the ground. They call it chicken writing. Okay, so just write as you understand. And
Okay.
that's why we say the object or the aim is very important, because people, they cannot understand what's the difference between karuna and metta. Karuna, you feel that like we say, karuna, your heart, you feel that you just want to do something. Your heart share. Now, every time I go down, the dog and cat, we don't have the cat here, but the dog always look at me like the dog, our dog is very fussy. You give them the fish with the rice, they eat all the fish, they left the rice. So every time I go down, they look at me like they are very hungry. It's like my fault, It's like my fault. I never give rice to them. Sometimes I also feel that, but I still have compassion to them. We try to feed them 3 times. Yeah. Okay. But I also learn to let go. They are born as animal because of their own karma, right? Okay. Right. That's the reason. Okay. I think enough. So we just and also we ask somebody to share the merits. Let me open the document. Actually, by now I also feel tired already. Today, sorry, today the voice not strong. Okay, so one way to improve in our 4 Brahma Vihara is ask forgiveness, especially on equanimity, because we don't want to bear so much that kind of guilt feeling or whatever. Right? Can we ask Sister Kaho to yeah, right. You chant Pali and English also.
Okay, thank you, Saji. Kamayachana, kayena vacha chittena, pamadena maya katang, acchayang kamami bante, puri panya tathagata. Kayena vacha chittena, pamade. Can hear me?
Can.
Kayena vacha chittena, pamadena maya katang, acchayang kamami dhamma, santi tika akalika. Kayena vacha chittena, pamadena maya katang, acchayang kamami sangha, supatipana anuttara. By body, speech, and mind, if I have committed any wrong heedlessly, may the Buddha, who has extensive wisdom, forgive me. If by body, speech, and mind, if I have committed any wrong heedlessly, may the Dhamma that is realized by oneself with immediate effect forgive me. By body, speech, and mind, if I have committed any wrong heedlessly, may the Sangha that has good practice and incomparable forgive me. Sharing merits with all beings. Imang no punya bagang sabha satanang dema. Imang no punya bagang sabha satanang dema. Imang no punya bagang Sabha Satanang Demang. We share this merit with all sentient beings. May they obtain this merit and be well and happy. Sharing of merits to the departed ones. Idang no nyati nang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo. Idang no nyati nang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo. Idang no nyati nang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo. Let this merit go to our relatives. May our relatives be happy. Let this merit go to our relatives. May our relatives be happy. Let this merit go to our relatives. May our relatives be happy. Sharing the merits with devas. Akasata cha bummata deva naga mahitika punyang tang anumoditwa cirang rakantu sasanang. May all beings inhabiting space and earth, devas and nagas, dragon of mighty powers, having rejoiced his merits, long protect the dispensation of the Buddha. Akasata cha bummata deva naga mahitika punyang tang anumoditwa cirang rakantu desanang. May all beings inhabiting space and earth, devas and nagas of mighty powers, having rejoiced his merits, long protect the teachings of the Buddha. Akasata cha bummata deva naga mahitika punyang tang anumoditwa cirang rakantu mang parangti. May all beings inhabiting space and earth, devas and nagas of mighty powers, having rejoiced his merits, long protect me and others. Patana aspiration. Ada imaya patipadaya jara maranangha parimutisami edang me punyang asawakaya wahang hotu idang me punyang nibbanasa pacayo hotu idang me silang magapala nyanasa pacayo hotu. Indeed, by this mental training or practice, I shall surely be freed from aging, sickness, and death. By my merit, may I eradicate all defilements. May my merit be conducive to the attainment of Nibbana. May by observance of morality be a condition to attain path and fruition knowledge. Imina punya kamina mame bala samagamu satang samagamu hotu yava nibbana pattiya. By this merit that I have acquired, may I never meet foolish, wicked persons. May I meet with wise and virtuous persons until I attain Nibbana, ultimate peace and happiness. Buddha sasanang cirang tiktantu. Buddha sasanang cirang tiktantu. Buddha sasanang cirang tiktantu. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Okay, thank you very much, Sister Kahong.
You-
You're from Penang or KL?
I'm from Kuala Lumpur.
Oh, okay. So this